Irvingman. Irvingman. The Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man series, even though it was canceled because it was too expensive, proved that a live-action series was doable. Toei Productions in Japan had been wanting to get their hands on some Marvel characters for a long time, and Stan Lee finally said yes. Well, he didn't so much say yes as he said, "Here they are, do whatever you want with them," and gave them carte blanche to adapt the characters and make them their own. Like anyone else with the sense God gave a donut, they started with Spider-Man. It was hard to go wrong with him.
Change the apart. 君はなぜ戦い続けるのか、命をかけて一筋に無敵の男スパイダーマン。
That may give us a hint that the Spider-Man of Japan is going to be very different from the happy-go-lucky wisecracking American that we're used to.
復讐の時はkitareri、撃て鉄十字弾。兄弟よ、kitareri。兄弟よ、我が兄弟よ。
If you're confused, I think we're supposed to be. What's a marveler? Expect a lot of scenes of people looking at stuff like that. I get the feeling it's a style. As that thing gets closer, more people start noticing it. For example, at the Yamashiro Astroarchaeological Laboratory, no, it's a space motorcycle. The guy on it is our hero, Takuya Yamashiro. He's a daredevil bike rider. Those are his two younger siblings, Shinko and Takuji. Right now, they live vicariously through Takuya. They might not want to do that. He appears to be schizophrenic. Whatever Marveler is, it's close enough now that everyone can see it. Someone else saw that.
間違いなくマーベラーです。
マーベラーは宇宙へ飛び去ったはずだ。今から400年前。だがついにガリアのテレパシーが通じたらしく、戻ってきよったわ。
しかしガリアは屍も同然。
Why would he? You two didn't.
それより山城博士を警戒した方が。
あの宇宙考古学のか。
はい。山城博士はマーベラーを発掘するに違いありません。
わしが400年もかけて研究開発したマシンベムの強敵を生むことになるな。
はい。
よし、山城博士を。
Is he the only one who could do that? Why can't most anybody find it and whatever you said? Our femme fatale is going undercover.
さあ、暴君竜、おいで。
鉄十字団のリーダーモンスター教授は400年前に地球にやってきた。そして戦闘機怪獣マシーンベムを完成させ、地球侵略作戦が開始されたのだ。
I didn't go out of my way to confirm that it's the same here, but at least in the United States version of the Marvel stories, BEM stood for Bug-Eyed Monster. I'm going to assume it's the same here. We'll come back to the animated action figure.
編集長、どこ行ってたんですか？見てください。男が命を燃やすとき、スピードにかける一人の若者の孤独な戦いを。
これを追っかけてほしいのよ。
これを？
それを持って山城博士を訪ねなさい。徹底取材するのよ。
Editor-in-chief? So in this series, it's the villain who works for a newspaper. Takuya is working on his bike inside the building, which he's not supposed to do.
明日いよいよレースなんだよ。多めに見てやってくれよ。
明日のレースは中止よ。
中止？
隕石の発掘を手伝ってほしいのよ。人手が足りないのよ。
なんだなんだ？男が命を燃やす時ってのはどうなんだい？
ごめんね、急に変更になっちゃったのよ。レースなんかでお父さんの景気の方が大切よ。わかんないの？
わからないね。宇宙人だの円盤だの。俺が信じるのは腹当たりに響くこの音だけさ。
If nothing else, they should all be coughing their heads off in all that smoke. Takuya is the passionate young man that Shinko was telling her editor about, and he's taking it seriously.
その代わり優勝カップを見せてもらいたいな。
約束します。
山川君たちに手伝ってもらうよ。
はい。話せるぜ親父。
甘いのよ。
雲だ。
兄弟よ、我が兄弟よ。
The professor and his group have begun looking for the meteor.
二手に分かれて探そう。
はい。
I'm not sure why she has to change clothes to command that thing. Takuya is getting ready to take little brother Takuji for a ride on his bike.
来たれ、兄弟よ。来たれ。
またあの声だ。
来たれ、兄弟よ。復讐の時は来たれ。来たれ、兄弟よ。復讐の時は来たれ。
兄ちゃん、どうしたんだよ。
Or maybe little brother can sit this one out. It's safe to assume Takuya was the only one who could see that giant spider. Otherwise, we'd have a lot more of this happening. He's going to follow the voice as best he can. It'll take him to where his dad and the others have been searching. Take your own advice, Dad. I understand wanting to run interference for your daughter, but there's no law that says you can't also save yourself in the process. He may not have read that far in the rule book.
どうした？
お兄ちゃん大変よ、やつだ。
Presumably the Amazoness, that's her name or title or whatever, returned her critter to pocket size and put him away.
Takuyaか。どうしてこんなことに。
近頃しきりと暗躍するインベーダーの一団がある。正体は定かではないが突き止める必要がある。
They call themselves the Iron Cross Army, and they're run by a guy with half a face.
タクヤ、それをやってくれ。
俺が。
私がそれをやるつもりだった。
父さん、父さん。
It's not Uncle Ben this time, it's his dad. And Takuya isn't interested in responsibility. He wants vengeance. I was a dinosaur maniac as a kid. I could tell you anything you wanted to know about any of them. I don't remember any with club feet. Still, right now it's the best explanation he has until he follows the tracks to a better one. It's a lot worse than the makeup department could make it look. In fact, it's a fatal wound. This day keeps getting better and better, and he didn't even get to find out who those proto-putties were. In the 90s, Toei did more stuff like this, and Saban Entertainment picked up one of them called Super Sentai and adapted it into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's why I can call these guys what I did, because I would bet my socks the putties grew directly out of stuff like this. Down in the cave, Takuya is bleeding to death, and it may be affecting his mind. Wow, that spider's eyes look almost human. That's Garia, the guy who called Marveler back to Earth and who has been telepathically calling to Takuya. In his haste, Takuya momentarily forgot one thing: the human body doesn't function well without blood. To complete his task, Garia will have to save him the only way he knows how. Maybe don't do him any favors. Takuya doesn't understand why he's alive. He knew the severity of his injury, but the cut is gone. Garia explains that the spider extract saved him. Then it's a good thing he was right here on this planet, in this country, on this island, just a few miles away. What a remarkable happenstance. Garia says, I need you to get revenge for me. Well, then he and Takuya are on the same page, more or less. Takuya knows why he wants revenge. What's Garia's story?
Spider 星はモンスター教授に征服された。私は復讐するためにこの地球までモンスター教授を追ってきた。 心が罠にはめられ、この毒蜘蛛の洞窟に叩き込まれた。だが私は死ななかった。毒蜘蛛の毒に耐えた。
Takuya wants revenge for his father. Garia wants revenge for his whole world. Mr. Monster has a lot to answer for.
拓也よ、君はスパイダーマンとしての能力を身につけた。スパイダーマン、我が400年の恨み、晴らしてくれ。
Going by his voice, I think he's about to be released right now.
頼んだぞ、兄弟よ。
I wonder how you say Obi-Wan Kenobi in Japanese.
タクヤはガリアによってスパイダーマンとしての能力を授けられた。ガリアは雲に姿を変え、その復讐の怨念を山城拓也に伝えたのだ。
Is Garia an immortal spider now then? He gets to spend forever dodging birds and lizards? He may not have thought this through.
じっとしたまま天井を見つめているよ。
そう。お父さんが亡くなってから急に変わったわ。
拓也、何をぼやぼやしている。早くスパイダーマンになれ。
Dude, he had a life going. He had plans. You ripped that all away from him and changed him into something else, whether he wanted it or not. Granted, the alternative was being dead, but that's beside the point. Give him a couple of days to sulk.
そして鉄十字団と戦うのだ。
鉄十字団。
君の腕にはまっているのはスパイダーブレスレットだ。ピンチの時にマーベラーを呼びかけるがよい。その中にスパイダープロテクターが収めてある。スパイダープロテクターを着てスパイダーマンになるのだ。さあ、プロテクターを。
Whereas Peter Parker is a scientist who created his web shooters and all the rest, this wrist device is a gift from Garia. Not only does it call that giant robot Marveler, it shoots webs and acts as a closet for the suit. A costume popping out of a piece of jewelry. I wonder where I've seen that before. I always wanted to be able to do that, but I never had the personal discipline to hone and train my body so I could. That's got to be somebody else's fault, but I haven't figured out who. He hears Shinko and Takuji coming. If they see him like this, there'll be many, many questions.
あれ？あら？どこ行っちゃったのかしら。おかしいわね。タクジ、本当にいたの？
いたんだけどな。
でもいないじゃない？
There was a similar scene in the comics. Spider-Man had a badly injured arm or shoulder, I forget which, and he was having trouble taking the costume off. Suddenly, Aunt May was at the door bringing him something. She found an empty room because Peter was hiding on the ceiling, half dressed as Spider-Man and half not. I think Batman said it best in Arkham Asylum, they never look up. And nobody expects a talking spider. There's a touch of inconsistency because at times he'll tell that thing what kind of web to shoot, and other times it'll just come out the way he wants it, like just then.
トミさん、藤田博士が誘拐されたわ。あの原子物理学者の藤田博士が？そう。恐竜のようなものがさらったそうよ。
鉄十字団の仕業だ。
スパイダーマン。スパイダー感覚で敵を感知せよ。
The canonical spider sense warns him that danger is near. This spider sense does a lot more than that.
スパイダー感覚に感知あり。南東50キロの地点。
As I said, this spider sense can be a homing beacon and lots of other things. It can also measure distance. I can think of 100 times Peter Parker could have used a spider sense like that. We'll have wire-based wall crawling effects, but a lot of the time we'll see creative use of freeze frame like that. The effects are a mixed bag, as we'll see. The wall crawling and web shooting are on par with the Nicholas Hammond series. Spider-Man is following a caravan of cars whose occupants include the kidnapped scientist. We never saw Fred Waugh do that. I don't want to know what the permits cost. I have a note here from the loose ends department. They want us to be aware that they don't know why those guys wear bird beaks. They also want us to know they're really glad the Amazoness doesn't wear one. That's what I get for employing a bunch of single guys in their 30s.
嫌だ。そんな恐ろしい兵器を作ることは私の両親が許さない。
悪魔の科学者になるのだ。
Excellent. I had to watch it 3 times before I caught the cuts. Perfect timing. We get some footage of him crawling around walls and ceilings, and our man does move like a spider, just like Fred Waugh did. I can't tell you his name because 2 different people are credited as the guy in the suit. I wasn't able to figure out what that's about. But this guy is good. That's a little of what I was talking about. I'm not sure why he had to tell the wristband what to shoot. I'm even less sure why he said it in English. He isn't concerned about taking these guys down. He's getting the professor to safety.
逃げてください、藤田博士。スパイダーネット。
I still don't know why he says it in English. Does that thing not understand Japanese? Okay, that's cheating. Yeah, it gets a little confusing. Some of the editing puzzles me a bit.
暴君流おやり。
何者だ。
鉄十字だ。マシンベム暴君流だ。行くぞ。
He climbs up the rocks, but Bokenru lowers his helmet, starts bashing his head against them, and Spider-Man falls off.
スパイダーストリング。
That had to hurt. He needs to call Marveler quick. This guy also has missiles.
かかれ。
Question. If that monster steps on Spider-Man, does it matter if he gets a few of those guys too? Help is on the way. Ain't that the way it goes? We spend our lives waiting for flying cars, and when they do appear, only one guy gets one. It's just not fair.
ミサイル発射。
I guess Marveler doesn't understand Japanese either.
Possible.
Where did he come from again?
New York City! New York City!
And by the way, Marveler is a transformer. He changes to a humanoid shape and lands to face Bokenru. Okay, that didn't work. Fortunately, none of his opponent's stuff is working either.
Leopardon, Sword of Victor!
Next time, lead with that.
おのれスパイダーマンレオパルドン鉄十字団の最大の敵が出現した。
どんとこい鉄十字だ。俺は戦うぞ。命ある限り。
スパイダーマンとモンスター教授をリーダーとする鉄十字団との熾烈な戦いの幕が切って落とされたのだ。負けるな、スパイダーマン!
He's not just the star of the show, it's named for him, so I doubt that'll happen. Now, listen to this and pay attention to the subtitles if you don't understand the language.
闇深く響く地獄の足音模様の下眠る父よ胸に秘めた非常の定めさらば友よ誓いの友よ俺はただ一人俺はただ一人親を走る
Is that as poignant a closing theme as you ever heard? You can feel the conflict inside him, wanting his own life, but has the driving need to avenge his father. The old proverb says before you go to get revenge, dig 2 graves. That's essentially what's happening to Takuya. Before he can avenge his dad, his old life has to die. The song tells us all that in a way that twists our hearts. May I just say, I like it! I'm totally cool with a unique spin on the story and the character like this. And the whole thing is so Japanese. It reflects especially Toei's style of the time. Professor Monster is over the top and hard to take seriously. The Amazoness is pure eye candy, and why not? She balances out having to look at Professor Monster. There are several things we don't know yet, such as why they're on Earth in the first place. Garia said they're an invading army, but so far there hasn't been any invading. And now that Spider-Man and Marveler are here, there may not be any at all. At least that's the plan. We have 40 more episodes, so maybe it took Professor Monster that long to figure that out. In closing, I want to ask you who know Japanese to check my pronunciations and such, especially with people's names. Names are an important thing, and I like to get them right. I've been trying hard to follow how they say them in the video, but if I make a mistake, please let me know in the comments. I promise I won't be offended as long as you keep it family friendly. Until next time.
闇深く響く地獄の足音模様の下眠る父よ
Why are you turning your butt to the camera? Effect as mine. following a what? That's what I get for when it has a head against them and fight. Somebody likes butt scratches.